You did it. You just quit your job, but now you're thinking, oh my gosh, now what? But don't worry, you're not alone. I know the feeling all too well because back in December of 2021, I made the decision to quit my job, and I've been navigating this whole starting your business, becoming an entrepreneur journey. And I want to share with you some things that I wish somebody would have shared with me when I was first getting started. So stay tuned and we'll get right into the video. So I just want to go ahead and congratulate you for making that big decision to quit your job and start your own business. It's super exciting stuff, and I know that there's amazing things in store for you. The first tip that I want to share with you is to just start and take messy action, which I know is hard to do in the beginning. When we're new to something and we're just getting started, we tend to overthink things and wanting to do things so perfectly because we feel like that's the only way to really make progress, is to do things the right way and to not make any mistakes. But that is so far from the truth. You actually learn the most when you start to take action. Just go ahead and start small. I know that you quitting your job and wanting to start your own business, like, you do have an inkling, at least something inside you, of what you think that you want to be doing, whether it's a product-based business, a service business, content creation, whatever it may be. There's something within you that you know that you want to do. Start there, start exploring that idea. Just start with pen and paper and just jotting down the things that you want to do, and then start to create a plan around it. Say, okay, what are the things that I can do today to get me one step closer to where I want to be in the grand scheme of things? And that's pretty much it. You'll find that as you start to take action, you'll start to understand things a little bit better. You'll start to understand yourself better, and things will start to get more clear as well. You might not always come out of the gate and know exactly what you want to do, but as you start to take that messy action, you'll start to see at least the things that you don't like, and that is also a vehicle to get you towards the thing that you really do want to do. So any action is better than no action. I actually came across this image the other day that said 20 minutes of you doing something is way more valuable than 20 hours of you overthinking. And that literally just hit me like a bag of bricks, because I was like, that's so true. And I know that we're all guilty of it, but I do encourage you to just step out of your comfort zone. Starting a business is tough, but it is very rewarding, and you don't get to reach new levels within your comfort zone. You do really need to step outside of your comfort zone, try new things, and that is really when you start to really accelerate the path that you're on. And that brings me to my next point, which is it's completely okay to mess up and pivot along the way. That is actually a part of the process. Something that I love to do is to listen to podcasts where they interview entrepreneurs and they talk about where they got started and where they are today. And a common thread throughout all of the stories that I've heard is that they try different things before they actually get to that one thing where they feel like, okay, this is my jam. This is what's really going to take off for me. And an interesting thing that I've noticed as well is that they don't keep themselves in a box. If something didn't work out for them, they don't consider themselves a failure. They just see mistakes as a learning opportunity. So whenever you encounter a challenge in your business, and believe me, you're going to encounter challenges, that's all part of the process, it's best for you to look at it as, okay, what can I learn from this? Instead of automatically breaking down and thinking that you're a failure or that your business is going to fail, or, just looking at it as a roadblock. That's not conducive to anything. Take the lesson from the mistake and then figure out how you can pivot, how you can come up with a solution, and just keep things moving. Like I mentioned earlier, starting a business is tough. But another thing that's tough is being in a job where you're absolutely miserable. And I hate to sound cliche, but it is a matter of picking your heart. Would you rather be miserable in a job, or would you rather be out there pursuing your dream and working really hard toward making that dream a reality? Both are gonna have their ups and downs, but I think in the end, pursuing your dream and trying to build a business really will be a lot more rewarding than sticking around in a job that you were miserable in. And this brings me to another important note. I often catch myself fantasizing about, when my business just like blows up and I'm making all this money and, just all the dreams and everything that people have when they first start out their business. And while at times that can be motivating to think about like the end goal and the end result and like when you get there, I think a lot of the times we can steal ourselves of our present joy by focusing too heavily on us being happy once we reach that goal in the future. It is so important to enjoy and be happy in the current stage of the journey that you find yourself in, because if you don't learn to enjoy this present moment, your happiness is dependent on you reaching this goal that lives somewhere in the future. And you're never going to be able to really get to that point because it's constantly moving. And let me give you an example. Maybe when you were a kid, like one of your biggest dreams was to be able to drive a car and be able to take yourself from point A to point B whenever you wanted to, and you just wanted that freedom. And so you didn't care what car you had, right? And so then that time comes and then you realize like, oh man, like this is kind of like a piece of junk car. Like I want a better car. And then you get a better car. And then you're like, oh, like I want an even nicer car. And it's just like constantly like you're not able to enjoy the blessings that is right in front of you because you're always focused on what's coming next. And that right there is the true thief of joy, always being so focused on what comes next instead of being present in this moment and enjoying where you currently are in life. And I have to remind myself of this constantly because Helen 3 or 4 years ago would just be in complete awe that like this is even my life right now. And I'm over here like, oh man, like I wonder what Helen's gonna be like in 5 years and all this stuff. And it's like, I'm living the dream right now. Like this is amazing. And so many of the things that I've prayed for and that I've wanted, like they're a reality for me right now. And I'm just so grateful for that. And I think when we shift our perspectives in that way, it helps us enjoy the journey. Because listen, starting your business and making it a successful, profitable, impactful business does not happen overnight. And so it's going to be a journey. It's going to take time to get there. So why would you not enjoy every step of the way? That is the only way for you to truly enjoy what you do. So being happy, being content is ultimately the choice. And you get to make that choice every day when you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to go after my dreams today. And even if there are challenges, I'm going to choose to focus on the good and know that I am capable of figuring out a solution and keeping things moving. And just because you choose to see the good in things doesn't mean that things are easy or that there won't be challenges. Of course there are. But what it does mean is that even though there is so much out of my control, I'm going to focus my time and energy on the things that I can control, which is the amount of work that I put in, the dedication that I have, the attitude that I have, and then everything else, the results, the outcomes, like I'm just going to place it in God's hands and know that He has my best interests in mind and He will work in my favor, and that's it. He's got it, and I just already know that the blessing is already here. It's already mine. It has my name on it, and it's just a matter of time of when it becomes a reality. So think positive thoughts, guys. It definitely makes a difference. Okay, so this brings me to my final point, which is that in the same way that your business is a work in progress, so are you. Continue to develop your skills and build up your mindset. And by doing this, eventually you will become the person that will reach your goals. Right now, we're kind of all getting started, feeling things out. And, sometimes I get in this rut of like, I want to be so much further along, when it's like, I'm not the person yet that I need to be able to receive that blessing. And so I know that by me working on myself, working on, like I said before, developing my skill sets, developing my mindset, like eventually I will become that person that will make my goals a reality and make my dreams a reality. I'm like a huge proponent of taking care of yourself and really focusing on the relationship that you have with yourself. Nobody wants to be with a grouchy person. Nobody wants to be around a negative person. So sometimes you really have to check yourself and make sure that you're not being that person yourself. And some of the ways that you can prioritize yourself and like building yourself up and building up your relationship with yourself is to take time out of your daily routine to do something for yourself. Whether that's, incorporating movement into your day, exercising, going for a walk, dancing, whatever it is that you enjoy to do. But really, like, getting your body movement is such a good way to kind of like clear your head and just move the negativity and like the negative energy out of your body. Another important self-care thing to do is drink water. Yes, like, drink enough water every day. Make sure that you're fueling your body with the nutrients that it needs. Are you eating things to support your body to perform at its best level? And that looks different for everyone, but just find something that works for you and stick to it. And of course, getting sufficient rest, having a balance between getting out there, putting in the work, and the time to relax, decompress, unwind, and fully rest is so important as well. And these are just kind of like the bare minimums of like you taking care of yourself, things that are so important, and things that I notice that when I'm not doing these things, like, I'm not being my best self. I'll give you an example. Last week I did not work out. I just was not feeling the best, probably more so to do like hormonally. I just didn't have like the energy for it. And so I didn't do it, but I definitely felt, because I had gotten in the habit of working out multiple days a week, that my body definitely needed it. Like, I felt really tight and like I just needed to move. And so this body, I prioritized working out again, and it made me feel a lot better. And it definitely makes a huge difference. Also, when I'm eating like crap or not drinking enough water, I feel like crap. And it's funny because my husband and I joke about it sometimes, that we're like, oh man, like, why do I feel so terrible? And it's like, oh, maybe because I haven't given my body any water today. And it's like, these things are so important, and like, they're basics and they're necessary. And so we just really need to do them. And I keep harping on that because I just feel like when we're in the pursuit of our dreams and starting our own businesses, like, we just get so focused on that and we forget to take care of ourselves. But in my channel and like in what I share with you guys, like, I always really want to make it a priority for you to take care of yourself, for you to put yourself first, and for you to just, in the pursuit of your dreams and starting your own business, like, don't lose yourself. You should be growing alongside your business and developing yourself, developing your mindset and your skills in order for you to continue to reach new heights. Okay, so that was my rant. I just want you to take care of yourself is all I'm saying. Okay, so I'll leave you with this. I do not have it all figured out. I'm still learning day by day and figuring things out as I go. But I did make the commitment to myself and to you guys that I would document this journey that I'm on and share it in hopes that it would make you not feel so alone. So if you found any value in today's video, I encourage you to please subscribe so we can continue to grow together on this journey that we're on. And I am absolutely cheering for you. And I'm so excited to see what God has in store for you. I will see you in the next video.